food, more free time, free delivery, and better value. Go to GuaranteedFoods.com.
All right, a Wednesday edition of The Zone right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Jason Anderson with you. Josh Brisco, Dylan Michaels. We head up until 2 o'clock. The next 4 hours, we've got you. We are hanging out at Big 12 Media Days today for basketball going on throughout the day today, and we will have you covered here from T-Mobile Center as we are getting everybody ready for the Big 12 season. And a big shout out to QC Kinetics, the presenting sponsor of the Big 12 Basketball Media Days. And QC Kinetics, you can get rid of nagging joint pain without drugs and without surgery. Now there's a better way. Natural biologic treatments from QC Kinetics. Learn more about regenerative solutions. Call QC Kinetics 816-412-6299, 816-412-6299. 99. So here's how the show lines up today. If you want to be a part of it, as always, text line 913-912-4810 is the text line to join us, 913-912-4810. We will talk some football today, certainly. Cynthia Freeland, our NFL Network analytics expert, will join us today at 11 o'clock. Still talk with her about this Chiefs team and the game coming up against the Los Angeles Chargers and see what she thinks about that matchup. And also just sort of continue the discussion about the offense in the NFL and how, and then a few years ago, being 26 points per game. So it has dropped 5 points in the last couple of years. So we'll talk with Cynthia Freeland about that, what Justin Herbert is as a quarterback, because it's been, man, coming out of the draft, there were so many questions about whether or not he was going to be a successful quarterback. He's got all the talent in the world. He can make every throw. Does Oregon win enough? Was it the guy off of draft day with Kevin Costner where nobody went to his birthday party, the quarterback there? Like, what was going on with Justin Herbert, some of the negativity around him? Then he gets to the Chargers and puts up some crazy numbers, and it's like, all right, this guy's going to be a stud. He's going to be one of the best in the NFL. He's so incredibly talented. Here's a big contract. And the only thing to show for it is a postseason appearance and a blown 4-touchdown lead against the Jags in that particular game. And a season in which this team is now 2-3, and they are a loss on Sunday away from being essentially eliminated from the AFC West contention, unless something crazy happens, like the Chiefs stop showing up to games or something like that. I'm not sure. I don't think that'll be the case. But if that happens, then, yeah, the Chargers would be back in contention if they were to lose on Sunday. So we'll talk with Cynthia Freeland about what this team is, what that player is, because for all of the yelling and discussing and debating and arguing over Dak Prescott, seems to be sort of an acceptance of like, well, Justin Herbert, it's Brandon Staley. It's at least the issue. Dak is the issue in Dallas, not McCarthy. Maybe it was Kellen Moore. Wasn't wanting to run it enough, but no, not that. It's Dak. Dak is the issue in L.A. Well, it's got to be Brandon Staley because it cannot be Justin Herbert. So I am curious as to what she thinks, and she's there in L.A., what she thinks of a guy like Justin Herbert. We'll also hear from the Chiefs today. Chiefs press conference is going on, 11:45, 11:50 or so. Andy Reid, the real stud quarterback in the NFL, Patrick Mahomes, and then we'll see which players will be at the podium today with Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. And we'll also hang out with Mick Schaefer here at Big 12 Media Day as T-Mobile Center hosts that. And with the Big 12 Basketball Media Day, we are expected to, in the next 20 minutes or so, around 10:30 or so, talk with Jerome Tang, head coach of the Kansas State Wildcats, Elite Eight Kansas State Wildcats, trying to build off of what they were able to do a year ago. The Naismith Coach of the Year, Jerome Tang, getting a little bit of the Big 12 college basketball media days rolling today. He's been in a number of different interview settings already, and he's going to stop by our location around 10:30 or so. So talk with Jerome Tang, K-State head coach. And then around 1 o'clock, we are expected to be joined by Bill Self, head coach of the Kansas Jayhawks, preseason AP #1 team in the land. So that's how the show lines up. Some football mixed in with Jerome Tang and Bill Self we'll talk with them as well. Again, 913-912-4810. Josh Brisco back in studio. Josh, what's up?
Having a good time. Everything's
Good.
stable back here. Your connection sounds great. I get to see Dylan from this chair, so we're having a good time. That's all I need.
You were so stupid. What are you doing? What are you doing? Why would you do that?
Well, I was just giving I was giving you a quality report. I'm guessing that the connection's going to be great until the moment Bill Self sits down.
The first 6 minutes. I don't know, Jason, but the connection sounds great. I think we're fine. I think we're good. I think we're in the clear here. This is great.
Listen, you asked how I'm doing, and the two things that determine how I'm doing is how the connection sounds and if I can see Dylan. And those two things, so far, so good. I'm not predicting a perfect game. I'm just saying that the first few minutes here, we're off on the right foot.
Well, that's good. So we'll see how many other feet. If there's a left foot, right foot, how many different feet will be able to use in session without tripping and falling. So we'll see what happens with that. Again, 913-912-4810. I found it pretty incredible. And, we talk about self-awareness and how much we try to at least attempt. I mean, at least there's an attempt to have a little bit of self-awareness, which is why we have fun at our own expense on the show. Lack of self-awareness is sometimes hilarious when people, fans, others maybe don't realize what they're saying or how they're saying it or how it's coming off. I want to play this clip first. It is Brett Yormark. It is the Big 12 commissioner, and this is from yesterday's State of the Big 12 sort of union, as yesterday was the Women's Media Day. So Brett Yormark talking, and the location we are at today, and how great the Big 12 tournament is in Kansas City. Here's Brett Yormark weighing in on what the plan is for the future of the Big 12 tournament.
Kansas City has been a great home for the Big 12 basketball championships. Because of that, we are currently in discussions on an early extension to keep the Big 12 basketball championships right here in Kansas City at T-Mobile Arena through 2031. While nothing is definitive at this point, we are excited by the prospect of calling Kansas City home for years to come. We hope to finalize this by the start of the basketball championships next spring.
So that was one of the bigger things that came out of yesterday's press conference, is talking about finalizing that by this spring before the next Big 12 tournament to keep it here in Kansas City until 2031, which is great because we know there's no better place to host the Big 12 tournament than Kansas City. They tried it at Oklahoma City, it was fine, but it wasn't Kansas City. They tried it in Dallas, and people didn't realize there was basketball taking place at the time. They were showing up to spring football, and they're like, hold on, there's basketball? Like you throw it, there's a peach thing that goes through a round. Oh, interesting. And there's a net. There's not just like a bucket that it goes in that you got to get a ladder and take it out. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, basketball. They didn't realize it was going on at the time. So Kansas City is the best spot for it to be. Although he did say T-Mobile Arena, which, Josh, I don't know if you realize that that's the arena in Vegas.
That's in Las Vegas. That's not in Kansas City. That's a great catch.
Which is the great tie-in and what makes it hilarious and the lack of self-awareness that's there. Because have you seen the conversation with the four hangers-on trying to coattail another conference out of the Pac-12, life rafting 4 teams from the Pac-12, and the fan base's reaction to the Big 12 tournament being in Kansas City till 2031? Have you seen some of the conversation that's taken place there with the very, very self-aware?
I saw at least one aggrieved sort of cluster of complaints on the website formerly known as Twitter, but I have not descended fully into this tar pit, I don't think. I'm guessing there's more to the story.
I fully descended into the tar pit, and it's not only Twitter/X, it's message boards, it's 4 teams that were looking for dry land and were drowning because the valuable teams in their conference decided they didn't care about being partners with them anymore. They wanted to go to the Big Ten. And they found a place to play in a conference to call their home instead of hanging out with the four of them and the Oregon State and Washington State. And now those two schools are looking for a home of their own. They have no idea what the future is going to be for them. But the lack of self-awareness, Josh, of the amount of people that are bitching and complaining about Kansas City having the Big 12 tournament. And what an incredible mistake by Brett Yormark as Big 12 commissioner to have. Why is it not in Vegas? Arizona message boards of, really? So now you're just going to make it more difficult and travel for us? You don't have to join. How about this? What if Brett Yormark calls Oregon State and their message boards and fans and said, hey, would you like to travel to Kansas City for the Big 12 tournament? Huh? Would you like that? Would you like that? Would that be fun for you? I bet they would enjoy it. And Utah fans, like the amount of Utah fans complaining that it's in Kansas City and not Vegas is absurd. Like, look in the mirror. You're not Texas. Texas joined the Big Eight and tried to swing some things around, and they had power because they were Texas. Utah thinks that they're going to just, push some things around and have the Big 12 leave one of the cultural fabrics of the conference in the Big Eight in this city and this tournament here, whether it be Kemper or Sprint or T-Mobile, and have a